You won't believe what happened to this Kenyan music star just weeks after getting back on his feet. A late-night accident. Internal brain bleeding. Doctors saying it's inoperable. And the most shocking part? He was with his friend just minutes before everything went wrong. This is the heartbreaking story of Shalkido. And what I'm about to reveal will leave you speechless. What you're about to hear is not just another celebrity accident story. This is a tale of redemption cut short, of hope shattered in an instant, and of a community coming together in the darkest hour. On the morning of October 5th, 2025, along one of Kenya's busiest highways, a hit-and-run driver left a rising music star fighting for his life. But here's where it gets even more devastating. Just weeks before this tragedy, this same artist had been rescued from the brink of financial ruin by fellow entertainers who believed in his comeback. Shalkido Gakuka, former member of the legendary Genjatone group Sailors Gang, was found lying on Thika Road at 4:42 in the morning. His motorcycle destroyed, his body broken, his dreams once again hanging by a thread. And the person who had been with him just 35 minutes earlier? Media personality Oga Obinna, who would soon become the bearer of the most devastating news imaginable. I'm going to take you through every detail of what happened that night. From the club appearance in Thika, to the fuel stop at Ruru Junction, to the moment first responders found him unconscious on the tarmac. But that's not all. Wait till you see what the doctors discovered when they examined his brain. The findings will shock you. Let me paint you a picture of how this night began. It was Saturday, October 4th, turning into Sunday morning. Shalkido had just wrapped up a club performance in Thika. He was riding high, both literally and figuratively. This was a man who, just weeks earlier, had been broke and desperate. Now, he was performing again, earning money, supporting his young family. Life was finally looking up. Oga Obinna and his crew had been at the same venue. They decided to follow Shalkido as he headed home on his motorcycle, the same bike that comedian Eric Amondi had gifted him just over a month prior. At 4-0-7 in the morning, they made a stop at Ruru Junction. Security cameras captured the moment. Obinna fueling up Shalkido's motorcycle, making sure his friend had enough gas to get home safely. They were laughing, talking, completely unaware that in less than 40 minutes, everything would change forever. Shalkido was fully equipped, helmet on, riding gear secured. He knew the dangers of riding at night on Kenyan roads. He was being careful. At approximately 4:15 in the morning, they parted ways near Kahawa. Obinna watched his friend ride off into the darkness, heading home. Or so he thought. Here's where the mystery deepens. When first responders found Shalkido at 4:42, he was on the opposite lane. He was heading back toward Thika, not away from it. Why? What made him turn around? Did he forget something? Did someone call him back? Or did something else happen that we still don't know about? This question haunts everyone involved. But that's not all. Wait till you hear what the first responders discovered at the scene. The call came in at exactly 4:42 in the morning. Boda riders navigating the early morning darkness along Thika Road spotted something that made them stop. A body, lying motionless on the highway between Githurai and Car Wash, just before Roysambu. No vehicle nearby, no witnesses, just a broken man and a destroyed motorcycle. These riders immediately called emergency services. The first responders arrived within minutes, and what they found was devastating. Shalkido was unconscious, blood everywhere. His left leg twisted at an unnatural angle, the thigh bone clearly broken. But the head injuries, those were what terrified the responders the most. According to their detailed account, Shalkido had been hit from behind. The impact was so severe that despite wearing a helmet, his head had sustained massive trauma. The responders noted something else in their report, something that would later become controversial. They believed he may have been under the influence at the time of the accident. This detail would spark heated debates online, with some defending Shalkido and others questioning his decisions that night. There were no witnesses to the actual impact. No one saw the vehicle that hit him. No one could describe the driver. It was a hit and run in its purest, most cowardly form. Someone had struck this young man with enough force to leave him for dead, and then simply drove away into the night. That vehicle is still out there. That driver is still free. The responders worked quickly. They stabilized Shalkido as best they could and rushed him to Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral, and Research Hospital. His motorcycle was taken to Kasarani Police Station as evidence. And then came the agonizing wait for news about his condition. But what the doctors would discover when they examined him. That's when this story takes an even darker turn. But that's not all. Wait till you see what happened next. The medical examination revealed something that left even experienced neurosurgeons shaking their heads. Multiple areas of bleeding. Swelling that couldn't be controlled. A prognosis that no family wants to hear. Keep watching, because what I'm about to reveal about Shalkido's medical condition will absolutely devastate you. When Oga Obinna and Shalkido's father arrived at the hospital, they faced something no one should ever experience. Bureaucratic nightmares in the middle of a life-or-death crisis. Hospital staff were initially reluctant to provide information. The family struggled to get clear answers. It felt like being trapped in a nightmare where everyone speaks a different language. Finally, they got through to the doctor who had treated Shalkido immediately after his arrival. What he told them would change everything. The diagnosis was catastrophic. Shalkido had internal bleeding in his brain. But here's the worst part. It wasn't just in one location. The bleeding was scattered across multiple areas of his brain. This made surgery not just difficult, but impossible. The brain tissue was swelling rapidly, putting pressure on critical areas that control everything from breathing to consciousness. Obinna's voice cracked as he delivered the news to the public. He has internal bleeding in the brain, and they have said that it is in a lot of places, and so it is also swollen, meaning that he is inoperable, and they cannot do anything about it. But there's more to this story. Wait till you hear about the moments leading up to the accident, and the questions that still haunt everyone involved. Let's go back to that night and examine the details that don't add up. Obinna and Shalkido parted ways near Kahawa at approximately 4:15 in the morning. Shalkido was heading home. Everyone assumed he was going straight there to rest after a long night of performing. But 27 minutes later, at 4:42, he was found heading in the opposite direction, back toward Thika. What happened in those 27 minutes? Did Shalkido realize he had forgotten something at the club? Did he receive a call that made him turn around? Was he meeting someone? Or did something else entirely happen that forced him to change direction? Obinna himself has expressed confusion about this. In his updates to the public, he kept returning to this question. Why was he on the returning lane to Thika? It's the kind of question that keeps you up at night when someone you care about is fighting for their life. There's also the matter of the helmet. First responders and netizens online raised an important point. If Shalkido was wearing a helmet, as witnesses confirmed he was, how did he sustain such severe head injuries? Quality helmets are designed to prevent exactly this kind of trauma. This has led to speculation about several possibilities. Was the helmet dislodged during the impact? Was it not properly secured? Or was the force of the collision so massive that even a helmet couldn't prevent the damage? One commenter online asked, how was he hurt on the head and yet he had a helmet? Is it that it came off? Or does that thing not help? It's a valid question that speaks to every rider's worst fear. That even when you do everything right, sometimes it's not enough. Then there's the controversial detail mentioned by first responders. The suggestion that Shalkido may have been under the influence. This sparked immediate debate. Some people pointed out that he had just left a club at 4 in the morning, so it wouldn't be surprising. Others defended him, noting that performing at clubs doesn't mean you're drinking, and that many entertainers stay sober while working. The truth? We don't know for certain, and perhaps it doesn't matter. Whether sober or not, a hit-and-run driver is still a criminal who left a man to die. What we do know is this: somewhere between Kahawa and Carwash, on a stretch of road that locals describe as a notorious black spot for accidents, a vehicle struck Shalkido from behind with enough force to cause multiple brain injuries and a broken femur. And that driver kept going. Kasarani police station holds Shalkido's destroyed motorcycle as evidence. But as of now, no arrests have been made. No vehicle has been identified. No witnesses have come forward. The person responsible is still out there, possibly not even aware of the devastation they caused. Or worse, fully aware and simply not caring. The family was advised to follow up with the police, but anyone familiar with the Kenyan justice system knows how these cases often go. Hit-and-run investigations are notoriously difficult. Without witnesses, without camera footage, without the vehicle, finding the perpetrator becomes nearly impossible. This driver might never face justice. And while the legal questions remain unanswered, Shalkido lies in intensive care, fighting a battle that medical science says he might not win.
Shalkido's story forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about life, luck, and the fragility of redemption. He did everything right in his comeback. He humbled himself and asked for help. He accepted that help with grace. He put in the work. He didn't waste the opportunity. He didn't squander the motorcycle or sell it for quick cash. He used it to build a better life. He performed. He rode. He provided. He was the model for how someone should handle a second chance. And yet, here he is, fighting for his life because of someone else's criminal negligence. This raises difficult questions. What do we owe each other as members of society? When we get behind the wheel of a vehicle, do we truly comprehend that we're controlling a weapon capable of destroying lives? Do hit-and-run drivers understand the full weight of what they've done, or do they rationalize it away as just an accident while they flee the scene? For every person who thinks drink driving or reckless driving isn't a big deal, Shalkido's story should be required viewing. For every driver who thinks they can handle just one more beer or just checking this text message quickly, here's your cautionary tale. For everyone who has ever thought about leaving the scene of an accident because they re-scared or didn't want to deal with it, here's what that cowardice costs. A young father brain damaged, a family destroyed, a community traumatized. But beyond the cautionary elements, there's also something beautiful in how the entertainment community has rallied. Eric Amundi didn't have to help Shalkido Obinna, didn't have to spend his time at the hospital navigating bureaucracy and providing updates. The doctors didn't have to show such compassion. Kenyans online didn't have to flood social media with prayers and support. But they did. All of them did. Because that's what community means. Shalkido's motorcycle, that symbol of his redemption, now sits in Kasarani police station as evidence. It's a haunting reminder of how quickly life can change. One moment you're riding home after a successful show, your future looking brighter than it has in years. The next moment, you're unconscious on a highway with injuries doctors say are inoperable. As of this recording, Shalkido remains in critical condition at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. His brain injuries are severe. The prognosis is uncertain. His family waits. His friends pray. His fans hope. If you're watching this, I want you to do 3 things. First, pray for Shalkido if you're a person of faith. Pray for healing. Pray for his family. Pray that somehow, against all odds, his brain can recover from this trauma. Second, drive responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Don't speed. Don't text while driving. Don't do anything that could make you the villain in someone else's tragedy. And if you ever are involved in an accident, stop, stay, help, be a human being, not a coward. Third, if you have any information about the hit and run that occurred on Thika Road between Gifts and Car Wash on the morning of October 5th, 2025 at approximately 4:42, please contact Kasarani Police Station. Someone out there knows something. Someone saw something. That driver needs to be held accountable. Shalkido's story isn't over yet. As long as he's still fighting, there's still hope. But whatever happens, his story serves as a powerful reminder. Life is precious. Second chances are rare, and we all have a responsibility to protect each other on these roads. If this story moved you, share it. Let it be a reminder to everyone about the importance of road safety, the value of community support, and the devastating consequences of hit-and-run accidents. Subscribe for updates on Shalkido's condition. Hit the like button if you're praying for his recovery. And in the comments, share your thoughts, your prayers, and your own experiences with road safety. This has been the story of Shalkido, from sailor's gang to rock bottom to redemption to tragedy. A story that's still being written, a life that's still being fought for, a family that's still hoping for a miracle. Remember his name, remember his story, and please drive safely.